All right, I'm live. How's it going, guys? I am streaming a new project we're going to be working on. Actually, it's a project that I already started about a couple days ago, but testing it. So, a client of mine went ahead and created a prototype using Cove, and he really likes it a lot. Well, she really likes it a lot. And she created two separate systems because Cove doesn't actually let you do a lot of the role-based access control that you actually are required to have when it comes down to enterprise-grade software, which she kind of needs. So, she called me up, got a quote on that one, and I told her, okay, well, listen, I'll grab whatever the code is, um, and go ahead and make that product out of that. And here's a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and share some pieces of that. That way we can take a look. I won't give you the entire thing because it's not appropriate, but we'll look at it so that you understand how this works. So Cove is an enterprise. I don't know. It's an AI prototype maker. And this client basically, este cliente basically just created this product for by herself, just writing code, right? Just prompt engineering, haciendo el prompt engineering. And so uh, basically they saw this and they decided, hey, let's go ahead and use this AI tool to create internal systems for our business. And Cole does a great job doing that. I got to tell you. I mean, she said she spent less than a day of doing this. I don't know any engineer that can do this in a day without AI, right? But there's a lot of hiccups into that. The storage system that I found is not really scalable, right? There's no pagination. Everything is loaded into memory like the moment you load the platform, which is, I guess, is okay for this stage, right? Many companies don't grow millions and billions of records. So loading everything um, into memory in the JavaScript works fine in the majority of that uh, uh, majority of cases, right? Many small businesses don't need more than QuickBooks to actually operate. So nadie más necesita uh, más que QuickBooks para operar su negocio. So prácticamente tenemos todo tipo de cosas. I don't know. Hello, guys. Feel free to ask any questions on the chat. Pregunta cualquier pregunta en chat. Este es un stream Spanglish, por si acaso. So el código ya está, the front end code, el código del front ya está hecho prácticamente, no hay mucho que hacer, pero de verdad no se integra bien con lo que típicamente son buena estructura de datos, buena estructura de bastante diferentes aspectos. So that could be an issue, right? What I did find is that there is a lot of there's a lot of different components that make up this platform, and they have already I would say a way that they want to work, which is a very interesting one, right? We don't really think about these things, but they want to work or they want to do stuff in a certain way. And one of the first things that happened is I realized that when you go ahead and look at the methods that they use for saving, and we'll look at that right here. We'll be able to go ahead and look at that right here. We'll go to sources, and I'll go to state. And in state, you'll see that really this entire system is based on, and I guess, they're giving it to the parent window. So this application right here, the one that Cove makes, is actually a isolated module that is encapsulated by a parent. And so the application actually is the one that communicates to the backend. This one frame communicates, is just like an iframe basically, and it's publishing a message to that thing. And it actually publishes everything. O sea, esta aplicación literal le da todo. Toda una lista de usuarios, toda una lista, cualquier cosa cambia. Like everything, it just gives it one at the entire thing. Which, you know, is not really the way you should be doing software, right? I mean, but granted, this AI or this system is designed in this way because it's easy, right? If you assume that this person is never going to do a billion records, nunca va a hacer un billón de records, entonces funciona okay. But if it's if it's a company that has millions and millions of records a week, this system is going to fail. So Cove AI hace un buen trabajo para it does a great job of just getting you to a place where you could actually work, and it actually makes you efficient. You know, a lot of businesses, muchos negocios están haciendo esto de automatización, haciendo estas aplicaciones y van a funcionar para su negocio. They're going to work for a good year, maybe 2 years, but not in the long term. Cove AI is good for creating prototypes, pero no hace un buen trabajo para crear sistemas escalables para los clientes. Doesn't make any scalable systems. And this is proof right here. Now this is how the data saving happens, right? Basically, the parent component here gets this information, which is actually, so if you think about it here, right, like we grab this, there it is, the iframe. It's another iframe right here. So this iframe is the application, which then communicates to the parent, which is the rest of the application. Give me a second. My little dog right here is trying to get into. Okay. So that's a little bit about how Cove works. I think it's really interesting. I think they've done a great job. If it's for small businesses, great. If it's for prototyping, great. But this is not a very scalable way of doing things. And we could also see that they actually leverage Code Sandbox. So Cove creates a sandbox for each one of these little apps that you make within that platform, which is really cool. And the main communication mechanism for that sandbox is this state. So, which is really cool. I mean, it's really, really, really cool that they were able to leverage a bunch of different pieces and have them communicate and understand how these things communicate. Actually, I don't remember a single time in my 16 years of programming cuando usé esto. I don't think I've ever used window.parent.post message. It just hasn't been a thing, at least not for me. So that's a very interesting way of thinking it. So I'm curious as to, maybe we can check. Let's see if we could check if there is a state that's not inside the Code Sandbox. And look, there isn't. So I'm looking for the code on the parent component or the parent application to see if I can check out what they actually do. But it's probably not going to be there. I don't think it is. I mean, let's actually check the sources. We go to this sidebar here. Let's close others. We don't want it. This is in the Code Sandbox. Great. Where is what is this? Next static. It's a Next.js app. So they're using Next.js. Everybody's using Next.js. All right. Like, everybody could hate on Next.js or whatnot, but if you've been developing for about 16 years, like I have, you were there in the age of trying to create your own back end and front end when Node.js would first start coming out, and that transition between PHP and then this TypeScript-driven environment, right? So there's a lot of things right there that are pretty helpful. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think in general, everybody's using Next.js because it's really good. It's a really good tool. People hate on it because Virchel, the creator of Next.js, created a lot of infrastructure specifically for that, the way it works, and it's not really portable in many other places. But that's fine. I don't think that's really a reason to hate on them. Um, and for all the people that say, "Yeah, I could set up AWS,"